political scientist Renata Mienkowska-Norkiene, who joins us live from Luxembourg. Renata, what strikes you as you see all of this going on at the same time? The drafting of hundreds of thousands of Russians, what appears to be then a mass exodus from Russia, as well as these referenda happening in Ukraine to join the Russian Federation.
Well, I have to tell you that what I have been witnessing is a kind of breaking of a social contract between Vladimir Putin and his own citizens, and the whole spectacle around it. So it was a special mission, military mission, that was supposed to last short now, and that Russians shouldn't, a sort of care even for. And it's just the government and obviously Vladimir Putin that is dealing with those things, and Russians, they can peacefully just do what they've always done. Suddenly this has turned into a real war, and Vladimir Putin had to admit it didn't go well. So I think that now Russians suddenly started waking up from all this, let's say, kind of, I don't even know, mystification or whatever, or dream. And now they will have to face the reality. Obviously, there are some who will never wake up because obviously they will pretend nothing has been going on. But look at the propaganda. Look at those people on the Russian TV who used to support Vladimir Putin and the whole operation, special operation, unconditionally. What they now say from the screens: oh, not everything goes right. Oh, there are some mistakes while this mobilization. And this means that some kind of a narrative around all that really has changed, and it will most probably change with the time. With all those problems that actually all those recruitment, let's say, centers have been facing, because look at Dagestan, look at those territories where really those recruits to be refuse actually to participate in this whole process. This can cause certain problems that obviously the national Russian TV will not speak about too much, but it cannot hide them anymore. Look at those crying women and so on. I think Vladimir Putin is aware of all that. The problem is that there are those hawks who actually require even more involvement into this special operation and even more, let's say, strict signal to the West. So the signal has been sent, yes. There is a threat, as we know, obviously, of use of atomic weapon, but I don't think that it is something for now, but it is definitely a kind of a blackmail sent towards the West, or a threat sent towards the West: stop disturbing us. But this will not discourage the West, and then Vladimir Putin will have to probably face some internal kind of opposition, and we will see what this will lead.
Yeah, I mean, something of a wake-up call for the Russian government were those mass protests that erupted for days at a time. And of course, militarily, this has not been going Russia's way in Ukraine. So is it possible that this rush to hold these referenda and potentially annex this territory is the start of Vladimir Putin saying, this is the way out of the war? I'm going to call these territories mine, and from there we will negotiate out. Is that too optimistic?
No, I think it's too optimistic, because I don't think that Vladimir Putin even has a potential to get into any kind of a dialogue and then any kind of a solution. I mean, even if we believed it's the case, it would be a bluff. So I would advise anyone on the West, please don't get sort of tricked by Vladimir Putin. Even if he pretends he wants a dialogue, the dialogue will not be there unless there will be clear signals that he will withdraw with the whole army from Ukraine. But those referenda actually show something totally opposite. And those signals of a potential use of atomic weapon, this is actually a signal maybe sent to those, hawks within Russia, Or maybe this is a signal to some, I don't know, federal services, things are going the direction which they want, and Vladimir Putin sort of tries to include their wishes also into his decision-making process. But I don't think this is any signal of Vladimir Putin's will to lead the process of negotiation and dialogue. I'd actually say the opposite. It's again a threat. And I hope the West will not react by mildering the sanctions and so on. I think the sanctions should be there, and they should even be stronger and broader. Because I think this is the single way that the West now can use to press the citizens of Russia. And this pressure may be the single one that will actually work for Vladimir Putin.
All right, Renata Mienkowska-Norkiene, thanks so much.